Okay, in the last video, we looked at creating a video application that allows us to create post-it notes at the side. So when the player's running, we got to the point where the time's picked up, and whenever we add a new post-it, the previous one collapses, and we can expand and collapse them individually. Well, what we're going to work towards in the next series of videos, we'll be expanding this a little bit further to where if we're playing on the video, rather than clicking on the right hand side, I'm going to click on the video itself, and it creates a little light box. And if I skip forwards, those little light boxes mean that we can create buttons that return us to specific points in the video, like so. And currently we can have multiple little light boxes available. So now it's becoming a bit more useful as a commenting tool, I suppose. Okay, to get to that, to start off with, what we did, or what we will do, is starting with the last video that we worked on, we would change the click events, currently set to double click, which may have been on click in the original, but I've changed it to double click, so it's a more deliberate action. And instead of it saying get ID right, I would just change that to player, which is the ID for the video player. I'm going to test that. If I try and click on the right, nothing happens. But if I double click on the video, then it just carries on as it did before, calculating the time, adding in other information. But to take that further, we then need to start finding out some other information. And so this is a return to the get mouse location function, which originally found out the X and Y in relation to the page and the scroll of the page, and we might as well reuse that. So I've gone back to previous file relating to use of this, and I've just copied and pasted it into the top of my script. I've got some console logs which are commented out. I don't necessarily need them there right now, so to tidy things up, I'm going to remove those comments. I am creating a new variable, calling it mouse location, and it's actually of type object. What that means is it contains multiple values, and those values have a specific label which we can access them by. And not only that, we're using the keyword return. What that allows us to do is to attach whatever's returned from a function to a variable wherever we call it. So I'm returning the mouse location once we've found it out. And this is responded to in create new post-it, where I've created a new variable and I called it mouse lock, so short for location, equals get mouse location. So it gets the information for the X and Y position contained within one variable. And we will then use that to add in some text content to start off with. So what I've done is taken the line where the time was, text content for window bar, minutes and seconds. I've added in this case, a a bit of inner HTML using the plus equals operator and ampersand EMSP, which is kind of like a large space. Then adding in more text content, just added in the mouse location .x. And the reason I can do this, because we've created an object, when we call the name of the variable and then the name of the property within that variable will be returned. So therefore, using the same variable mouse location .y or .x, and this is a bit like an associative array where we can give a named index. Okay, so when we test that, what we'll be looking for is double click on the video, and now we can see we've got the time and we've also got the location of the click and nothing else. And moving on from there, in the next part we will essentially bring up or create the lightbox. So let's just go to the next one in, and what I'm doing is creating a new lightbox. So inside of the create new post-it function, there is some new things put in. I've added in new lightbox, which is creating an element on the document of div, and then straight after there I've just spaced it out a little bit, but I've put in all the information relating to this lightbox. So to start off with, I was working with a 30 pixels by 30 pixels square. I'm setting the left and the top position offset by the X and Y clicks of the mouse. And I'm also setting the attribute of ID to equal lightbox plus I, so it will be lightbox 1, lightbox 2, lightbox 3, allowing us to reference them later on, and also giving it a class lightbox. And this allows me to take away some of the CSS from the JavaScript. In fact, we could take all of the CSS away from the JavaScript, apart from the left and top, which is being collected on the fly, so it's dynamically collected. So scrolling up to the top of the document and into the style, you'll notice that I've created .lightbox. So that's inside of the style tags there. And we already had a left, a right, and a left video. So I've set the position to absolute, similar to lightboxes we've done before. It will allow it to move freely within the page. I've given it a background color. The background color has also got an alpha of 0.5, which means it's slightly see-through. And then a z-index of 2, just to make sure that it appears on above everything, really. And if we just test that one. Now see, whenever I create a new post now, the lightboxes appear all over the document, and these are created on double click. Okay, we'll stop the video at this point and move forward in the next one.